Hey guys, what's up and welcome to another video. I would do the clap high thing, but there's probably headphone users watching this, and we are using a microphone today because today I thought I would talk about Matthew Perry. So, if you don't know who Matthew Perry is, he was an actor who died at the age of 54, and he was one of my favorite actors. He meant a lot to me. The main reasons is I watched Friends. That is my comfort show, my favorite show ever. And he played Chandler on Friends, so he means a lot to me. And the day that he died, I remember it vividly. I started crying, and I was in the skate park with my friend and uh my best friend, and I was on the ground crying. So screaming and crying because I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, so there is an update in his case. 5 people were charged, including 2 doctors in Matthew Perry's overdose death. U.S. attorney says arrangements begin. Update. I can't read, guys. Disclaimer for this: I cannot read. I cannot pronounce anything. So this article is by Denise Petsky and Dominic Patton, and it was published August 15th, 2024 at 5:50 p.m. If you want to read this article for yourself, the link is down below. So, uh, updated with arrangement details. I think that's what that word is pronounced like. I don't know. Um, 5 defendants have been charged in the connection with the ketamine-related death of actor Matthew Perry. U.S. Attorney Martin Estrada announced Thursday during a news conference in Los Angeles. Hold on. The 5 include a live-in assistant, 2 doctors, a woman known as Ketamine Queen, Estrada says. The defendants are part of a broad underground criminal network that supplied ketamine to Perry and others, Estrada said. He says suspects took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. Which, I mean, a lot of people do that nowadays. Unfortunately, people take advantage of you, just to, have power, and that's basically what that means. And, get money and whatever. Because money is power nowadays. So, 2 of the 5 have been arrested. Jasveen Singha, 41, aka the Ketamine Queen of North Hollywood, and Dr. Salvador Placencia, Placencia, can't read, 42, aka Dr. P of Santa Monica, Estrada said. Both pled not guilty later in the day and were arraigned at U.S. District Court in downtown Los Angeles. U.S. Magistrate Judge Alka Sagar ordered Sangha's detained, that's jail without bond, and set Placencia Dr. P bond at $100,000. Dr. P's trial date is October 8th, and Singha's trial date is October 15th. Through the DOJ said this afternoon it expects those dates will be consolidated at some point in the near future. The others, Eric Fleming, so that's 4, 5, I don't know. The other is Eric Fleming, 54, of Hawthorne, who pled guilty August 8th to 1 count of conspiracy to distribute ketamine and 1 count of distribution of ketamine resulting in death. Admitting the distributed the ketamine that killed Perry, according to prosecutors, also charged Kenneth Iwamasa, 59, Toluca Lake, Perry's live-in assistant, who allegedly conspired with Sangha, Fleming, and Dr. P to illegally obtain ketamine and distribute it to Perry, and Dr. Mark Chavez, 54, of San Diego, a physician who has agreed to plead guilty to one account of conspiracy to distribute ketamine, admitting to selling ketamine to Dr. P, including ketamine that he had diverted from his former ketamine clinic. That's wild. These defendants took advantage of Dr. Perry's addiction. Mr. Perry, I said Dr. Perry. We're not talking about Dr. Perry, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, guys. We're talking about Matthew Perry. I'm sorry. The joke, I'm sorry. Anyways, Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves. They knew what they were doing was wrong, Estrada said. According to the superseding indictment unsealed today, in late September 2023, Dr. P learned that Perry, whose history of drug addiction is well documented, was interested in obtaining ketamine. Dr. P mocked Perry in a text message in 2023, writing, "I wonder how much this moron will pay, and let's find out." That's rude. Singha told the ketamine batch responsible for Perry's death, sold the ketamine batch responsible for Perry's death, charging $50,000 for about 50 vitals, prosecutors said. So that's like $1,000 each vial. That's crazy. Found in a hot tub, Perry died October 28th, 2023 at the age 54 in his home of Los Angeles. On December 15th, 2023, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office declared Perry's passed away from the acute effects of ketamine. The autopsy report also cited drowning, coronary artery disease, and the effects of morphine, can't pronounce things, a drug used to treat opioid disorder, as contributing to death. According to prosecutors, Perry received several injections the day he died from, I will pronounce her name either, Iwamisa, his live-in personal assistant. This is a very difficult case to piece together, a senior law enforcement source told Deadline earlier Thursday. What has happened today and will be announced. There will likely be more arrests later. As more details in this case, Perry's behavior, and his final months become known, a different portrait emerging from the Friends star who insisted both his recently published memoir and a public that he was embracing a life of sobriety. So I think they're talking about Lisa Kudrow, who played Phoebe on Friends, who was his co-star, and she was mentioned in the book. Or maybe they're talking about Jennifer Aniston. I don't know. They're talking about one of those. Okay, because Jennifer Aniston. So I read the book. Jennifer Aniston was the one who told Matthew Perry, like, "Bro, you need to get some help." She didn't say it like that, obviously, but she was like, "Dude, like, we're worried about you. You need some help." And he decided, like, to get clean after that. Well, I don't think it was after that. I think he tried to, and then he, like, relapsed, and then, like, a year before he died, he was like, "I'm gonna get clean." And he wrote his book, and in his book, he said he was getting clean, and he was living a life of sobriety. So, it doesn't really, like, line up that it was ketamine. Like, it doesn't make sense. But also, like, you can relapse, and then it can kill you. Like, that happens. And, like, also, he could have, like, took in, like, a year, like, of sobriety, and then, like, all of a sudden relapsed, and then it killed him. Like, that's what could have happened, because you can't just stop taking medicine for a while. Like, me, I obviously not doing, like, ketamine, crazy drugs, but I do have infusions once a week where I get Vimizin, and I went like 3 or 4 weeks without it because my insurance decided to not cover it, and that's like $50,000 too. So I didn't take it for a long time, and then I took it like after that month, and my nurse like slowed it down, like me getting it, because she didn't want me to have a reaction to it, because your body can change a lot in like a short period of time. So let's continue. In May, LAPD spokesperson told Deadline an open investigation into Perry's death was underway with Federal Drug Enforcement Agency. The LAPD issued the following formal statement in May. On October 28, 2023, the Los Angeles Police Department responded to the residence of actor Matthew Perry to conduct death investigation. On October 29, 2023, an autopsy of Mr. Perry was performed by the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner. On December 15, 2023, the results of the autopsy indicated that Mr. Perry died from the acute effects of ketamine. Based on the medical examiner's findings of the Los Angeles Police Department with the assistance of Drug Enforcement Administration and the United States Postal Inspection Service, has confirmed investigation into the circumstances of Mr. Perry's death. Although believed by many to be sober at the time of his death, the multi-Emmy-nominated Canadian-American actor had a long and well-documented history battling alcohol and prescription drug abuse. In fact, not long before his death, Perry had been speaking aloud about his struggles and desired to help others also fighting addiction. He detailed his past presented struggles in 2022 best-selling memoir, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Here's my little 2 cents on this. A lot of people do believe that he was sober, because he said that he was sober in his book. But also, I grew up with drug addicts in my life, so I know that they have a tendency to fib and say that they're doing better when they're not. Unfortunately, people do that because they're embarrassed about it. And that's just what they do. And this is like no disrespect to people who do drugs. I'm not dogging on y'all. Like, I hope that anyone who's out there who does drugs gets help, gets off them, gets sober, gets clean. Obviously, Matthew Perry intended to do that, but it's hard when you have an addiction. It's like being an alcoholic or on drugs, you're addicted to that. You feel like you need it, and like in some weird way you do, because your body isn't used to not being on it. And so you gotta be careful detoxing, and like that's just a whole nother thing. And like a lot of people are like, oh, people who do drugs are losers, and like they like no, I don't respect them, like da da da. It's like, I don't know. It's hard to say that because you're not in those shoes. I was never in those shoes, obviously, but I know people who were, like my parents. Not to air that out there, but yeah, uh, those are the people that I knew. Well, I still know them, but they were on drugs. But I think it is a complicated process, like a complicated issue. A lot of things go into it, and as humans, we are complex. There is a lot of things that are complex about us, and drug addicts, that's something that's very complex, and nobody really knows what it's like unless you are. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, he's like da 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 da. Like, no, because it's really complicated. And also, I still very much love this man, very much have respect for this man. He he was just sick. Like, That's all that is. When you're addicted to something, you're sick. Like, you feel like you can't live without it, and while you're on it, you're sick. And even when you're detoxing from it, like, it makes you feel sick. Like, in his memoir, he literally, like, talked about his withdrawals he would experience when he was detoxing and like all that. So it's just a very complicated, complex issue, and I don't know, but yeah, I like, my heart goes out to Matthew Perry's family and to him, because I don't know, like, if one of my parents, like, if that happened to them, that would be like, like, that's terrible. And like, that happened to him, and that's terrible. And this case, like, it really hits close to home, especially because Matthew Perry was such a, like, light. He was such a light. He was such a good actor, and he was struggling on the inside. And like I said, humans are very complicated. And at the end of the day, he was a human. Don't think that actors and singers and like famous people are any less than human, because that's all they are. And I feel like, I don't know, it's a really complicated issue, and my heart breaks, like, for him. Like, the moment I found out about that, like, my heart was just like broken. Like, terrible, absolutely terrible, um, absolutely tragic. And also, like, he could have been clean for like a year and then got back on it, and then killed him. Because like I said, when your body's not used to doing something and you get back on it, it like can really do some damage there. But yeah, anyways, guys, what do you think about this case? Um, I don't know. It's a shame, and I hope that, like, I don't know if this is a conspiracy, which it very well could be. Like, this sounds insane. Like, this sounds like a conspiracy theory. Like, like something Shane Dawson would have talked about back in 2015. Like, like, sounds like it. But who knows? Very well could be true. Like, the drug world is crazy. Like, I'm just saying, it really is. Like, I know some people. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, so let me know what you guys thought about this case. I will leave the comments on, hopefully, unless YouTube turns them off. But yeah, um, I love Friends. I love Matthew Perry, and I was just reading this article, and I thought that it was important to talk about, because I feel like whenever people die, like, they're like, oh my gosh, they died, and then they like stop talking about them, and it's just like, keep his name, bro, keep brother's name. But that's how I feel about that. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I will have this article linked down below. If you want to see what I'm doing whenever I'm not on YouTube, check out my Instagram. It's at moon._.lively. And yeah, so, and check out my TikToks. I do have a makeup TikTok. I have not been posting on there. That's because I feel like I do the same thing every day, and I just like, look, I like posting YouTube better. Like, I can do different things. Anyways, you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys next week. The schedule with this YouTube channel has been kind of like off. I think I'm gonna start posting Saturdays, rather than Fridays, because it is Friday when I'm filming this video, and my dad works a lot on Fridays, so I have a lot of time to be home alone filming a video. It's harder to do whenever people are in the house, but yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to stay bananas. Bye bye.